Hello, hello, everyone. Who's here? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Please let me know. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Please leave me a comment to let me know. It's not showing up on my end. That's why I'm wondering. Hey, who can hear me? Who can see me? If you can hear me, if you can see me, please leave a comment in the comment section to let me know that you can see me, you can hear me. Ooh, they can see me. My people are here. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Okay, loud and clear. I see that. Thank you. How's everybody doing? So nice to see people here. You guys, let me confess. I have a secret fear as a content creator every time I go live. I always get that fear of what if nobody joins? What if nobody comes on? So it's always such a thing of joy when I see the comments coming that you guys can hear me and you can see me. Please share this live. This is going to be very interesting, interesting conversations we're going to have here. So please invite as many people as you can to join. Let's all just have a chill, relaxed conversation. Oina Mola, thank you. Love you right back. Let's just chill and have a heart-to-heart conversation today, especially in the spirit of Valentine. Like there are some people who are already planning to prepare us on social media today and tomorrow because it's you that love pass. So today we're just going to be talking about love, like this love that we throw around, this love that everybody talks about. Is that all that it really takes? Is love really enough to make a marriage, to make a relationship, or whatever it is? Is love enough to make it work? So I want to hear from you guys today. I've set this up in a way that you can join the conversation. So in a bit, I'm going to be putting a link in the comment section, in the chat box that you can click on to join the conversation live with me. I want to meet as many of you as I can today to hear your opinions and make this as interactive as possible. Okay. So if you're interested in joining, we'll get to that in a bit. But before then, as usual, can you please let me know from in the the bus bills are started. Somebody saying I love Percy one job. Chat you. Anyway, can you rep where you're joining from? Where you guys watching from? I see a number of my Saskatoon folks are here. Welcome, guys. I see some of my Niger peeps are here. Thank you very much for joining. Please let me know where you're joining me from. Hey, BC. How are you, neighbor? Just let me know where you're joining from. Please, if you haven't shared this live video, share it to tell your friends. Ooh, Nakutula, Zimbabwe. Yay, welcome. Abiodun, Ottawa. Wow. My Coco's Diary, Toronto. Welcome, welcome. Saskatoon present, correct. Welcome, guys. Please share this. Share this. Larange, okay. Delakbo, thank you very much. I'm just going to share this now and let people know that if you are not here, you are missing out. If you're not here, you're on a long thing. Fatu praise all the way from Senegal, Busaya from Lagos. Thank you. Oshola, Mississauga, Churchill, Warri area. My people, welcome, sir. You people know I'm Urobo, right? So I'm a Delta babe, top left, right, and center. But I crossed the river and followed man to cross River State. Omano from Sweden, welcome. Peter joining from Dubai, welcome. Yemisi, my guy, welcome. Philly from the UK, you're welcome. Let me see if I missed. Repping Niger, I just corner, my big sis, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you very much, my peeps. Always so nice. Sam from BC. Hey, how are you? How's it going? Okay, people. So we can have maximum time to enjoy this conversation. Hi, Twinkle. I see you, darling. Welcome. So that we can have maximum time to enjoy this conversation, I'm just going to go ahead and put the link to join me live in the chat box. Please, you guys, don't fall my hand. Don't let me have this conversation by myself, please. I want to gist with you guys and I want to hear perspective, you guys, because I mean, the last week, which is typical leading up to Valentine, most of the conversations you hear on social media from vendors, the people who are trying to sell you stuff, from vendors, from people, everything just points to love, 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 love. Love is the ultimate. Love is everything. Okay, a couple of other people have joined. Emanuela from Regina, welcome. Nkiruka from Nigeria, I see you there. Welcome. Thank you very much. A lot of people talk about love as if, man, there's no problem in this life, in a relationship, that love cannot solve. And for me, I've been conflicted. There have been a couple of stories that broke out on social media, and they were like, oh, if this person loved that person, this is what they would have done. If you love somebody, you lay down your life. If you love this person, you put your neck on the chopping board for them to cut, because, I mean, love is the solution to everything. And I want us to talk about that today. Is that really correct? If you love somebody, does that mean the relationship will work? Is that the only ingredient that is needed? So you guys, I'm putting the link in the chat right about now. Let us see who's going to be the bravest person that will join. Titi Lokwe from Nigeria, I see you. Welcome. Yobosa from Calabar. My people, welcome. Okay, I'm going to put it on the screen just to see who can click. Dolakbo, you know. Okay, so the link is in the chat box now. If you want to join the conversation, please go ahead and click on that link so you can join me live. And we can talk about it. If you want to start to put your opinions in the chat box, if that's what you're more comfortable with right now, please go ahead. Is love really enough? Is that all that we need to make a relationship work? What do you guys think? Hey, Tonya, welcome, Mama. Yes, please like the video, guys, please. It helps the visibility of the video. Chama from Port Harcourt, welcome. Thank you so much. Is love really enough? I'm scanning through the comment section to see if people are already sharing. So please go ahead. Love is not all. Oh, Mr. Eteng, do you want to expand on that? So what do you think? Is love really all that it takes? If you love somebody, does that mean that that's automatic recipe for relationship success? Love is a major factor. Okay, I totally agree. Love isn't enough, but love is vital. Sukura, do you want to come on? Let's talk a little bit about that so you can expand what you mean. It's not enough, but it's vital. If you want, you can just click the link in the chat box and join. I think that's very good perspective. I just want to hear more. Hi, Nina. Welcome. Okay, so I see somebody has clicked on the link. You're going to need to turn on your video. Hope you're comfortable with that. Okay, just give me one moment. I'm going to.
Okay.
Hi, Churchill.
Hey. Sorry,
I
we
can't
don't get
see
light.
you.
I don't feel lights not due.
Welcome. Okay. So fire down. What do you think? Is love
Hey,
enough?
Marina.
Hi.
Love can never be enough. Like,
Okay.
see, all of this Valentine stuff is just basically marketing. People are just looking for what to sell. Don't go hang yourself for that you want love. I think the most important thing is you have to, should I say love yourself? But then that now borderlines on being narcissistic and stuff like that. When they
Like
feel you
selfishness
have to
one
love
time.
yourself. So I don't know. Love is not enough, Sha. Even if not yourself you did it, sometimes you have to put yourself in the other shoe and be like, okay, if I'm the other person, I think that's when the love kind of like supersedes all things. But apart from that, nobody, it doesn't work that way. Love is not enough. When you have finances, you have children, you have religion, you have a lot of things that come into stuff. So it's not enough.
So, Chacho, what would you say are the other things that is needed with love to actually make a relationship work? Love is not enough. So, what else do we need?
You probably need on see, I'm the wrongest person to ask, Sha. Let me just be honest.
Why?
Because I'm a single Pringle. Very
But if you have
single.
been in love before, then of
Have I
course you
been
have
in
the right to
love?
comment in this conversation.
Okay, let's go with that. But I feel like in you need understanding, Sha. Like you have to understand the other person, and it
Mm-hmm.
has to. I have friends that they are married, they don't live in the same house because of like they do weekends. Let me put it that way. Because you can't. There are lots of you have to understand the other person. Another thing is sacrifice because I don't know. No, you're not going to enter with it passive. You have to be able to sacrifice. You need understanding is the most communication. Like, and that communication needs to come with understanding because sometimes that you might love someone, but because of the way maybe you both were raised differently and stuff like that, while I
Wow.
go enter,
True
do you
that.
get?
True
Yeah.
that.
So understand. I think understanding is the most important thing. And then you also have, for example, you could have like in polygamy, for example,
Mm-hmm.
mm, there are some women that I know that older generation, I don't think the new generation will take that rubbish. But there are some women that that they get married to men, and then the man says, "Oh, I want to get married to someone else," and the woman's like, "You not concern me. They feed me. My house, are my children going to school?" So that understanding. I'm not saying women. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying people should go and enter polygamy. Shine your eye, but like that understanding is very important for you to communicate and know that this person it supersedes. Okay, I'm blabbing at this point.
Okay. I totally get the point you're making. Like we need
Yeah,
understanding, there's sacrifice, like a couple of other things that you need and not just
yeah.
love alone. I love you, it's not going to fix everything. I totally
Hmm,
get that. Well, thank
that's
you
all.
very much, Chotio, for
Yeah,
joining, even though we didn't see your face. Anyway, thank you
that
very
one
much
that's
for
my
joining and for
face.
sharing your perspective.
Bye.
I see a couple of other people waiting now, so I'm just going to let them come on and share their perspective as well. Thank you,
Yeah.
Chotio. Hi,
Um,
Dalako.
Hi.
How are
I
you? Good to see
good,
you.
good, good.
Where
Yeah.
are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Lac La Ronge,
Okay,
Saskatchewan,
Laurence. Okay,
Canada. Yeah. So
welcome,
I don't
welcome.
think love is enough because
Okay,
I think a lot of people are confusing love. Love is just like other emotions, like anger,
okay.
like
Mm-hmm.
frustration, hate, guilt,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. It's the most powerful things that I feel it fuels the relationship or the
Okay.
marriage or the dating, right? But it is not enough. For example, now I think there's more like compatibility. There's need for compatibility,
Absolutely.
self-improvement. I'm going to give you an example. A cousin of mine was dating somebody, and he was looking for a lady that is ready made. And I said, what do you mean ready made? He doesn't want to work. He wants the girl to be taking care of him. And the girl loves him so much. And then the girl jackpot, like she ran away. Say, I cannot be taking care of you. Are you disabled? So that is an example where you will love somebody, but you have to look at, are they also making personal improvement? Are they compatible um genetically or professionally? For example, assets now. A lot of people are now widening up their eyes that we don't have money
Well
to
done,
take care of
Desi Road.
ourselves. How are
Absolutely.
we now going to be taking care of our kids when they
Mm-hmm.
are having crisis? So that's an
Absolutely.
example, which is genetic compatibility. So people are now doing that now more, that I still love you, but we don't have to marry each other, we just be friends. So I
Okay.
don't think love is not enough. Again,
Okay.
with fertility as well. I am a mental health therapist, and I saw a guy few years ago who is suffering from erectile dysfunction. They love each other, and then the girl that he was dating just left the relationship. So can we say that they didn't love each other? I don't know.
Yeah.
Again,
So there's a
yeah,
part of being honest with yourself, knowing what you can handle and what's too much for you, regardless of the fact that I love this person, but I cannot handle this. You know?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. I
So
totally agree.
Yes, yes, yeah. So basically, it's like also like love is also like without compromise. So you cannot love somebody and say, they are struggling with fertility issue, and then all of a sudden the thing disappears, right? So it's just like I said, it's just like other is an emotion, is an
Yeah.
emotion, just
Okay.
like guilt and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Dolakwa, if I'm going to switch this up a bit, you talked about your cousin who was looking for ready-made. Now
Mm-hmm.
that made me laugh, and I saw a couple of comments in the comment that said, "Ah, for what?" But that's what women do. Like the average woman wants to marry a man that is ready-made, not the one that she will go and suffer with. Do you
Eh,
understand? Would it, if you switch it, if it's a woman that is saying she's looking for a man that's ready-made, would you have the same reaction? Like, how can you be looking for somebody who's
I
ready-made?
also have sister who said that, and I asked her, "Are you also ready made?" Yeah,
It's a
I say,
two-way
"Are you
street,
also ready
man.
made? You are not even working." And you are
True.
waiting for somebody that is driving 20 that will buy 2020 car for you as a push gift, and you've not even said yes to the person.
She's speaking faith. She has read the future.
Yes, yeah. So I said, see, you have to date somebody for who they are. Just look at the major things like your values. Is the value the same as your with the value he has? And if it's not the same, Japa, there was one guy a few years ago that said he's interested in common law. I'm not against common law. I'm not against common law. But I was just wondering what would it be? And I talked to my leg and said, this is not what I want. And that was the first and the last date. So sometimes we have to think about our value as well. Our value, is it aligned with the person that says he or she loves you? It's not enough, because there's a lot of challenges in life that at the end of the day that love will just disappear all of a sudden. That
Mm-hmm.
there are issues that we don't have control all over, you
Mm-hmm.
know for example, that is fertility, infertility can happen to a man and a woman.
A woman as well, yeah.
And some will stick if it happen, and some will japa if it happen. So, which means love is not enough. If love is enough, that should not be happening.
We should make people stay and do those things.
Yes,
I
yeah,
totally hear you. Totally
yeah.
hear you. Thank you very much, Dolakwa,
You're
for
very
sharing
welcome.
your perspective with us. I see someone else waiting in the back end, so I'm just going to admit them now. Hi, Nakutula. Yay! I can see you. Your mouth is open.
Hi. Hi, Marina.
Hi, nice to
I'm in
finally
shock.
put a face to your name.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Nice.
Excuse my background
Oh,
and
no
any
worries. No
noises.
worries at all.
But thank you so much for bringing this up. It's such a crucial matter, especially in our days, these days where this social media driving almost everything. And
Absolutely.
everything on social media looks perfect. Like you see Noctula's husband posting a very
Oh, you're
it's
breaking up a bit.
sometimes
Okay, okay, back now.
yeah. So the love for a relationship, it's not enough. I think of love in a relationship as just one bit of one bit of the recipe for a cake.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to make a cake, you need eggs, you need milk, you need vanilla essence, you need this and that. Love is just one bit of that recipe. It cannot be the entire cake. So we cannot love each other while we are hungry, unfortunately. While our kids are struggling, we cannot. So we need to be really factual about things. So we need to take into consideration my character. There are some things that um, cannot just be tolerated in a relationship. Just
Mm-hmm.
because someone loves me, then they just uh, make me get away with almost anything. In the same way, this is the reason why a lot of the times we let people get away with more than they should, because sometimes we think that because we love them, then it will hide or mask those issues. But sometimes love is not a strong enough mask to close all those issues that a person has.
It can only be a mask for so long, but a time will come where the
Yeah,
band-aid will have to be ripped off. I totally, totally agree with you.
absolutely. We have to be comfortable with having the uncomfortable conversations,
Mm-hmm.
not just I love you, I miss you. It's not enough. It's not sustainable.
Absolutely. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Nakutula, for sharing that perspective. Um,
Thank you
I know
so
you're
much
not
for having
Nigerian.
me.
I know you're not Nigerian, what does Valentine, what's that like in your country? Is it as commercial as it is all over the world, or what does that look like? Oh, you froze. Can you still hear me, Nokutula?
Business, it's a whole hello,
Okay, yeah, you
can you
froze for
hear?
a bit.
Oh, I was saying Valentine's in my country, it's a whole business. It's a whole vibe. If it were according to many people, it would be a public holiday because it's that big. So you have a lot of people. It's there's a frenzy around it. Well, I don't subscribe to it personally because I know if someone wants to be nice to me, they can be nice to me throughout the entire year, not
Mhm.
just on the 14th of
Not just
February.
one day,
Yeah,
true.
but in my country, it's a big deal, especially for the young ones. Need anything from my significant other, it may ruffle some feathers. So, yeah, it's a big deal.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining to share. It was nice to meet you. I see your name a lot in my comment sections, and I
Thank
appreciate your
you.
support for my channel. And it's just so nice to put a face to your name. Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Marina.
Okay, so I'm going to try to look at the comments now and see what you guys are saying. I want more people to please click that link. I want to hear from you guys. Some Fatu says most of Indians, they marry in an arranged marriage and divorce is rare. Love is not all. Okay. Arranged marriage. What if they're not happy and they don't have the option to walk away? Isn't that the reason why some of them are too afraid to leave? I don't know. Love is the starting point and the major factor, but it's not enough. Commitment. Emanuela says commitment and communication is one of the key points. Totally agree. Olubusaya says maybe we should define love and the kind of love that's enough in a relationship. Busaya, do you want to come on and talk to me a little more about that? What kind of love do you think it is? And I just Corner agrees. I just Corner, please click the link. Let's talk more about that. Okay, I see Shola is here. Hello.
Hi, Marina.
Hi, Shola. How you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm good. And you? Nice to have
Very
you
well.
to
Thank you
join
very
me.
much for joining.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. So,
Okay.
for me, right, um, I see that love is not a feeling, right? It is a decision you
Hmm.
make. Because if you look at the Bible, Jesus didn't feel that the feeling Jesus had, if it were for him to act on his feelings, right, he wouldn't have died for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a decision. I'll use myself as an example, right? Way back in school, yeah, the guys I had feelings for, they weren't forthcoming. My husband was my friend, right? But then when I look at it, he didn't do me gish gish before we married. I can say that. He was my friend and he's still my friend. He's someone that would talk, would chat, and like that. And when it was time, I looked at it, I looked at his values, his background, his beliefs. We aligned, and I had peace with it. I took it to God, I had peace with it, and I went ahead. We got married, and I keep falling in love with him over and over again. He's not a perfect man.
So it's doing you gish gish now. Tell us, tell us.
Yeah. He's not a perfect man, right? I'm not perfect. But then what I just wanted to point out that it takes more than just the feeling to say you are in love.
Absolutely.
It's a decision you make to be with this person. And also, in addition to that, you also need to look at your values if they align,
Hmm.
your beliefs, right? And you need to communicate. That is a key point. Communication is key.
Shola, do you want to move a little more to the right? Like we can see half your
Oh,
face.
oh,
Okay,
sorry.
better
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So communication is key.
Hmm.
You need to have the same beliefs, the same values. Your background matters. Your
Absolutely.
upbringing also matters, right? because this is going to affect a lot of things before the marriage and after. Because these are the things your children will see, right? What people you think are not looking at you, people you think, oh, they are just there, they have nothing to do with you. People see you, they see what you do. So I believe that for me, love is not a feeling, it's a decision you make to be with this person, irrespective of whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
very.
way I look at it. Then for Valentine, right from even when I was a spinster, I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a set aside date for you to say I love this person.
Yeah, it's
Every
just,
day,
yeah.
every year.
The commercial part of it is just a bit exhausting. How much in our face it is. It's almost like if you're not doing it like this, then you don't love your partner. And for
Yeah.
me, I don't like bandwagon. I don't like doing what everybody's doing. So
Yeah,
that
the
has
same
been a
thing
major
with me.
struggle for me. Like,
Yeah,
which one can be this for this one day? Anyway,
yeah,
thank you very much, Shola. I
yeah,
see I have a lineup of a couple of other people in the background. This is making me so happy that more people want to share. So I'm going
yeah.
to try to do it in the order in which it came up. So thank you very much, Shola, for
You're
sharing your
welcome. Yeah.
perspective. Thanks. Okay, Nana, I'm going to add you now. Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
No, my video is not on. Girl,
Why?
this baby is he's making me look higgy haga, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so everyone has said well or everyone has spoken well. But like someone said in the comments, I don't know who said that, but the person said love is not a feeling. For me, I feel like love is enough, or to a great extent, love is enough. But the problem is that the world has um, misunderstood what love truly is.
Mm,
We see love from the romantic aspect of the word love. You touch yourself, you kiss yourself. She's handsome, she's cute. But when we go back to the very definition of what love is, now, I'm going to speak from a religious perspective. I understand that everybody may not be religious, but the Bible tells us what love is. If you get that definition of love, then you will see that every other thing comes under that. When we're talking about compatibility, commitment, sacrifice, understanding, trust, honesty, if we know what love means, the Bible says that love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it doesn't boast, it's not proud, it doesn't dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs, it does not delight in evil but rejoices with the truth.
Nina,
Love
are you reading
always
the Bible or this is coming from your head like this? Let's come and start fellowship in your house.
No, I have the new what's it called, NIV version. Okay, it says love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, and love never fails. When we talk about, okay, the earlier sister spoke about compatibility and its effects in a relationship. If we understand that love is not self-seeking, that okay, I know that me and this person, we are not compatible. If you love that person, again, not from the romantic part of it, but the true definition of love, you know that I have to take myself out of this equation because I love you. So I will not seek myself first. I have to let you go for a greater cause. So let's get the real meaning of love and leave Hollywood, Paloma Diego, love, Tiwa Savage and that person love, couple relationship goals. No, and go back to what God says love is.
Physics are totally
If
agree with
we,
you.
if we put these principles into our relationship, we will see that love is enough. Love you. Someone may say, "Oh, I love you, but money, hunger, and all that." But the Bible says love protects. It means that if I love you, I wouldn't want to see you suffer. So I will have to go out there as a man or as a woman to hustle to bring food to the table. So that is what love is, not romantic love. Let's go back to the true meaning of love, and we'll see that it covers everything. Everything is covered in love. So
Thank
that's all
you.
I have to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Sister Pastor Nina, for that amazing perspective. Sis IJ, over to you. I saw your comment earlier. You said maybe we should define love. So can you tell us? Maybe you can start from there. So what exactly does this love even mean first before we decide if it's enough or not? Go ahead, sis.
Okay, you can hear me, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay. The speaker before Nina like took the words from my mouth, and then Nina now iced the cake. You know, love is not a feeling. Love is a choice that you make. Okay, I tell people this: anybody can marry anybody. That is what I believe. Because you choose to love this person, you have chosen to stay with this person. It's not that feeling you that's it's you're feeling butterflies in your stomach, you're feeling somehow when you're around this person. That's really not love. And Nina has already defined love. I cannot define love outside what the Bible already says love is. So if we make that if we understand what love is and remove that feeling, we would know that love could be enough. When we understand, mark my words, could be enough. When we understand what love truly is, love could be enough. But when it comes to, okay, like there's something very important that Nina said. When you find out that this is not working for you, this is not good for you, walking away shows that you love that person enough to give up whatever it is. For example, I've had conversations around this genotype thing. Personally, I had I had encounters in my life. The very first person I thought I would have married was a Sikla. Okay, he was SS and I am AS. Okay, imagine that I said, "Oh, I love him, I love him, I love him. I cannot live without him." And then I would shake my head. And then the second one, the relationship did not even start before it stopped, before it ended, because we already I have cousins that have died as a result of sickle cell. So I wouldn't open my eyes and say, I love you. If I really love you, I should be able to walk away from that relationship. I have two friends that before they got married, they went for the genotype check and found out that both of them were AS. But my dear friends, after crying, still went ahead with the marriage. Lo and behold, first child is a sickler. And you know the strain that thing brings on a relationship. As of today, I heard there's a big strain on that relationship. So if we truly say that we love someone, we should know when to walk away. And then you cannot remain in a relationship and say, I love this person. When you know this person is not good for you, you have seen some tendencies, maybe call it narcissistic tendencies. You have seen some things. The person is abusive, not just physical, but also mentally,
Hello?
emotionally abusing you. You understand? And then you say, I love him. I cannot do without him. Sorry, I'm sweating. I'm in Nigeria. And the word that is showing me, I'm trying to acclimatize. After staying in you people's country for how long, I'm really sweating. So just forgive me. So you have to shine your eyes. I advise people, shine your eyes. They say love is blind. Love is no blind.
Zero though.
Love,
Zero.
love is not blind. Love sees perfectly. So let's first like we start the way I started. Let's understand what this love is. Not just that feeling. If you say you love someone, there should be a time to say this is not good anymore. We can't keep doing this. I love you too much to want to put you through this. I love you too much. So let's separate, let's part ways and all that. So love could be enough.
Yeah. I like
Love
this.
could be
There's
enough.
something
When
you
we
said.
understand. Yeah. Okay.
There's something you said that I think is an angle that I want us to dissect more, maybe later in the conversation. When you said love, you should be able to love the person enough to know when to walk away and not put them through the torture of what that relationship is going to be. You should also love yourself enough to know when to step away from a situation that is abusive. That's one angle that I want us to take on. But before we go there, I would like Olubusayo to go now. We can't see you. Please, Sister IJ, don't leave. Just hold on a bit. I want us to.
I'm here. I just want to wipe my face.
Okay.
I'm sweating.
Olubusayo, you have been added to the stream. Can you hear us? Okay, I can't hear you. I can't see you. Do you want to maybe leave and click the link again? Because I can't hear anything. Okay. Can you try to click the link again to try to join again? I see all the comments coming in, you guys. Please keep it coming. If you want to join the conversation, please do well to click that link. Okay, I see Busayo is back. Let me try to add. Hello, Busayo. Can you hear us now? Oh, I can't hear you. I can't see you. Yeah, we can't hear. Please try again. So, sis, I want us to talk a little more about that. Because now, when we read the Bible definition, we say, okay, love is selfless, which means that you put yourself last, you put the other person first before you put yourself, because love is sacrifice. Like it's like service to another person, right? But what is the line? Where is the boundary between where it becomes loving yourself enough to walk away from a situation and selfishness? Because there have been a couple of stories that broke out on social media this past week about, oh, this person thought about yourself, you were not considering the other person. We don't have the full story. Some of these stories that come on social media, we never have the full picture. So I try not to base anything only on what is on the thread, because the person told you what they wanted to tell you, right? Where's the boundary between I love myself enough to walk away from this, and when does it become selfishness? When does it become you have only thought about yourself, you didn't think about the other person?
Okay, when there's abuse present in a relationship, the party being abused should have sense enough to walk away. There's nothing like being selfish in that kind of situation. Because first of all, you have to be alive. There's a lot of people go through emotional abuse, not even physical right now, emotional abuse. Okay, let me tell you something that just happened recently. Someone has been having issues with the husband, and it's obvious that the husband lies against this woman, carries her outside to his friends, tells them all sorts, okay? And now this full-grown man, a friend of the husband's, sends her very irritating voice messages. Sis, if I send you that voice message, you will feel like meeting that man and punching him on the face. But what I said was, it's the husband that gave him the right to overstep. How can you be telling somebody's wife you are nobody without your husband? If you leave, where will you go back to? It is your husband that made you. In fact, if I was where you are, I will come and slap you and beat you. You are so stupid. This is somebody that is not your wife. Okay? So what I told the person that was telling, I know the people involved, but she wasn't the one talking to me. It was another friend that called me and was angry and telling me, look at, and sent me the voice note. So I told her, the choice is hard to make. We have to get to that point where we decide that we have to walk away, despite whatever would come. Because our sanity is important.
Absolutely.
Our mental health, very important. Our life first, walk away first. Then if that man really, really is serious, let him make amends. So in that particular scenario, there's nothing like being selfish.
Selfish, okay.
When abuse is present, there is nothing like being selfish. Nothing like being selfish. You have to see. Let me tell you. Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. I know most of the time we really don't understand that place. Love your neighbor as yourself. You have to love yourself first. If you don't love yourself, how will you love your neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
You get? You have to love yourself first, though, before you be able to love your neighbor. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love another person. There's nothing selfish about loving yourself. There's nothing selfish about loving yourself. If you don't love yourself, you won't be able to love another. So first of all, we should get to that point in our lives to differentiate between when we are being abused, when we are being taken advantage of, and when to walk.
Totally hear you, sis. Like when there's abuse involved, it's now a survival first. You have to survive first. There's no
Yes,
such thing as, yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
But
I
the
agree.
issue is that it's not easy. When you tell a woman walk away from your relationship, it's
That's
never easy.
another can of worms, like walking
Yeah,
away.
it's never easy because the mindset will be, where will I go from here? Especially if maybe the family is not very strong financially.
Another
The question
angle.
will be, where do I go from here? If I live here now, okay, this man provides for me, he does everything for me, but he wants to kill me in this home. Where do I go from here? So sometimes it's not that easy to walk away, but we can walk away when we are being abused. We can.
I agree. Thank you very much, sis. Thank you so much for
You're
your
welcome.
valuable perspective and contribution. Busayo, can you
You're
hear
welcome.
us now?
Yeah,
Okay.
hear me.
Yay! I heard something.
I
Okay, yes, I can hear you now,
don't know.
Busayo. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. Right now. Okay. Now I kept saying, I hope you hear me.
Okay, it's a bit shaky.
Hear me.
It's a bit shaky. You're cutting in and out.
I think no, Nigerian network.
Sorry.
Okay. Hear me.
It's still a bit shaky. Like
Let me know
I
if you
can hear sounds, but I can't make out full sentences because it's just in and out.
okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Oh, this is
It's
so painful. I really
fine
wanted to hear you, like your
now.
comments. I wanted you to speak more, but it's just shaky.
Can you
Do you
hear me
want
now?
to try again? Maybe click in and out
Is it
because it's just shaky. Like I can hear sounds, but I can't make out anything.
okay? Okay. Let me
Oh, it's clear now.
come in.
It's clear now. Try keep
Okay.
talking now. Let's see.
Okay. It's fine now. Is it fine now?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. All right. I think it's always enough. Marina, love is always enough. Most of us, because like use us, I not talk anyways. But I noticed that we, especially women, don't do
This is hard.
enough.
Musaya, please try and click the link again. The only thing I heard, I
So
can't. I
let me
can't make out. I can't make out a lot. Just try again, please. Thank
let me try.
you. Okay, I'm gonna try to read the comments while we wait for the Lakpa to try to get back. No, Busaya, sorry. I don't even know where I stopped with the comments. Love is enough if you're a student of the Bible. Yes, we like the Bible perspective. Love is a verb, not some abstract feeling. I agree. Let me see. If we love someone, we should know when to walk away from the lack boy. Yes. Love sees everything, and it is the person who chooses to be blind to the red flags. So true. Love is not blind anything. You chose to close your eyes. And also, I love myself so much for this relationship to continue. Absolutely. We should love ourselves first before we can reciprocate the love to others. Good job. Good. Joy Dibia said, I had a fellow who was AS and was actively pursuing me. Even till I got married, he was still insisting. Okay. Walk away freely when it's affecting your mental health, abuse, domestic violence. You have to be alive to love people. True. Okay, Joy's comment continued. Even when I got married recently, I told him I couldn't do it. He kept insisting that science has progressed. Ah, fortunately, I had full sense to
Sorry,
train.
sorry. Let me cut you. Let me interrupt there. Science has progressed. How many people can afford to do all those selective things? When you
Absolutely,
take in,
that's a
you will
question.
go and start doing selection, and you keep terminating the pregnancy
Absolutely. In
because
fact,
you want to be sure you won't
where
have
you
an effect.
live, the country you live in plays a huge role in how science has progressed. Science has progressed in
Yeah,
almost
has
every area,
progressed.
but how accessible is the progression to everybody? Ah, thank God you have
Exactly.
sense to
Exactly.
keep saying no. Eh? Science has progressed to where? It's perfectly fine to love from a distance. I agree. Oh, I agree. You can love from a distance. You cannot give what you don't have. This is a call for women to be financially independent. Most women want to walk away, but it's not easy, especially when children are involved and they can't cater to them. Another angle. Another angle completely. You can't give what you don't have. Yes, Mr. I think I agree. Abuse, especially run. Don't just walk. Run first. Try to resolve from a distance. If it doesn't work, to God be the glory. Joy. Love it. To me, love is deceit and lust. Hmm. Susie, you want to talk more about that? I'd like to hear more from where that came from. Dolakwa says a lot of people don't even know if they're abused. Then they continue to go to the same man. It's hard to walk away from an abusive relationship if children are involved. Yeah. Uh, and then Mr. Eteng agrees with Dolakwa. There's something about a victim mentality. You go back to the same place. Very sad. Yeah, Susie Williams, it would be nice for you to expand a little more on that. Let me try and add Dolapo back. Network, please behave yourself. We need to hear. Why do I keep saying Dolapo? Dolapo, you're in my head. Musayo,
Yes, so give me now. Maria, Marina,
Sisaje, can you hear?
No, I can't. It's cutting off.
hello,
This is so painful.
It's cutting off.
hello,
Musayo, can you try using the
hello.
chat to just see if you can put your comment in the chat because it's still cutting off. It's still the same.
Maybe you should change your position. Maybe move
Position,
to
yeah.
another
You can move to
another
like
place.
a different place just to try out where the network will be best. Okay, so Wellness with Cassie says, still shaky. Busayo, please try to change your position just to see how that works, please. I think the main issue is that most of us don't know what love entails before going into a relationship. The foundation really matters. Wellness with Cassie, do you want to click on the link and come on? Let's talk more about that and about foundation. And it brings me to like the next question I was going to ask. I heard a couple of people say there's friendship, there's understanding, there's compatibility. What is the role of friendship? What's the role of friendship and vulnerability, especially in making a relationship work? What is the role of is friendship overflogged? Because I heard somebody say people stay in arranged marriages. There are people who meet and 3 months, 4 months, they decide, you know what, we're going to get married. And they build everything within the marriage. Like from there is where they start to get to know each other. And some of them, they say that the marriages work. I don't know how that is to marry like somebody who's almost a total stranger and that works. So would we say friendship is important or is it one of just those overflowed concepts? What is the value and the place of friendship and vulnerability in relationships? Society, you can go. I
Um,
still have.
I, yeah, I would say that friendship is important too. It's very, very important because one thing I tell people is this that like I think it was Shola that said the people she was catching feelings for were not even looking her way. Okay, but her husband was there as a friend. Sometimes, eh, we are looking for something else when the person is right there beside us. I know of a couple that today they are married. Okay, um, those days when somebody breaks the guy's heart, she's the person he will go and cry to. You know that kind of thing. Hey, this person is, and the lady will be looking at him in her mind. When you finish, you come back. When you finish, you come back. And today they are married. So Sometimes, or most times, friendship plays a big role. Friendship plays a big role. Let me talk about my own relationship. I met my husband the same year I agreed to marry him. I met him sometime in either June or July. By maybe November, December, we had agreed. But we didn't marry immediately. But we already agreed. We were engaged by then. But we married like, I met him in 97, but we got married 2000. So if I had seen any red flags
That's
in
22 years.
between, yes. I've been married 22 years now, yes. 22 years. If there was anything I noticed before the marriage, because I tell people a broken courtship is better than a broken marriage. If I noticed anything before the marriage, I would have simply said, Uncle, you see, we cannot continue. You understand? So friendship goes a long way also. I encourage people to marry their friends. For those that their marriages were arranged and is working for them, is beautiful. That's why I would always say anybody can marry anybody. It's a choice. The person could have said, I can't do this. Or would say, okay, I have chosen to do this. Irrespective of what happens, I have chosen to do this. I've made my choice to do this. So for some of them, but it's not it's just what we want people to see that we show them.
True.
In the eyes of the world, we may feel, oh, this person is having this marriage, couple goals, oh, this one, oh, that one, not knowing what is actually happening in the heart when nobody is watching. They'll just be keeping up appearance, So for some, it's working for them, but generally, I would advise marry your friend. Marry your friend, generally.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And this is just as you were talking about how you met your husband and giving timelines. It kind of reminds me what it was like for me and my husband as well. Like when we met, where my head was, you know what? See this thing about love. Maybe it's not even for me. I just could use a neutral perspective in my life right now. I could use a new friend. That's when Mr. Eten came into the picture. So when he came into the picture, my perspective was not, finally I can have like a neutral perspective that is outside the circle that I was. So when the conversations now started tilting towards, you know what, maybe we can make this a relationship, my immediate default reaction was, hey, Ogbeni Pakwe, please, that's not why we're here. It's friendship I'm asking you for. Please behave yourself. And it kind of took him like, okay, what do you really want? I'm like, I just want a friend. That's what I'm looking for. But the seed had been sown that, look, even though it's friend you're looking for, me, I want more than friendship, But from there, friendship was the foundation. Friendship was the foundation. And that's even in the marriage, friendship was still the foundation. Because I still think that it was short for us. Like from when I met him to when we were married was under 18 months. From start to finish, it was under 18 months. And some days, I've said it here before that I thought that was short, but a lot of people were like, no, people are doing this thing in 9 months. People are doing it under a year, so you're fine. So, but friendship was like the basis. I feel like our love grew and evolved in the marriage. There are days where we fight, there are days where we quarrel, there are days where I don't like him. Like there are days where I don't feel like I'm in love with him. But friendship is still the reason why when we go to bed at night, you're angry with me, I'm angry with you. Somebody kick me, say, why are you kicking me? Before you know, I've started laughing. It's friendship that does that. And then I'll not say, you come, you and this your coconut head. See this thing you did. If you try this thing again, I'll lock you outside. I find that at that time, it's friendship that's the bond. It's the friend at the end of it all. We come back to that place where we are friends first. So if I was not married to him, he would have been my friend. If I was not in love with you, we still would have had something to talk about. And I think that's very important. I'm looking at the comments. Anyway, I think that part is very important to build that foundation of friendship.
Somebody may say, how long would I have known a person to say we are good friends? That is also important. Somebody will be wondering, if I met this person within a month, can I say this person is a friend? If the person is sincere, both of you are sincere, the friendship can blossom in a month.
Absolutely. It's not a function of
If
duration at all.
yes, if the two people are sincere, and then if the meeting is not based on I want to marry you, it's even better. Okay,
True.
you just met this person. This person is a friend. You people find out that you have lots of things in common. You see that having the basic things in common, things that you know that you will not play with. For instance, faith. Faith was my major number one point. First of all, do we understand ourselves in that area before we now start talking about other things? So, if you're sincere, you can strike up a relationship, a friendship, good friendship, and then from there, just like you and Mr. Ethan, from there you took it to another level because you've understood yourself. And like you rightly said, when there are some issues, it is that friendship because you're already friends. You can say anything to him without him feeling this woman, the fear face, and he can tell you, and you understand that kind of thing. Because of course, let's remember the male ego, it's still there. So there's some people when you talk somehow, but I'm not saying go and be abusing your husband though. I'm not saying go and be insulting the man. I mean, there's some yabbings you can
Yeah.
yab,
You can
teasings, and
tease.
all that,
Yeah.
and they'll understand. Oh, this thing is coming from a place. You're already friends, so you understand each other. So it's really important. It's really
Yeah.
important to be
Very, very.
friends.
Thank you. Hi, Kofo. Thank you for joining the conversation.
Hello, everybody. Can you
Yeah,
hear
we
me?
can hear you, but we can't see you. It'd be nice
Oh,
to see you.
my face is quite rough. That's
It's
why.
okay. We don't mind.
Okay.
It's okay. What is rough here? See,
Uh-huh.
see this thing.
I
See your
love
white teeth.
that.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Thank you
Yes.
very much for joining. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Sometimes love is not enough, and sometimes it is. The main issue I just think about this love is that right from where children are being brought to life, parents should start teaching children about love. You understand? I think why is mostly on women or ladies is that from right from the start they will teach you that you should be perseverance irrespective of the situation of the thing. Even though the thing is not in your favor, they will say, it's your brother. That is meant for you. Just endure it and all that. So that is why in marriage, most of the time is women that have these issues. I will use somebody I know very well for example. Now, sometimes where our children make mistakes, we should not just say because of the mistake, go and marry. Like a lady getting pregnant. You understand? Most of those results from ladies being pregnant has caused so many disastrous marriages. You understand? Sometimes when a child is pregnant, it's not because of a child is pregnant. You can't tell the child, go and marry. You have to marry the person you are pregnant for. Like somebody I know in my family, because she was pregnant, they said she has to marry the person. But it turns out that the man did not love her. They have two children now. They have two kids now. The firstborn can't talk. The firstborn is not going to school. And the lady will not tell anybody. She needs help, but she can't speak out because she's ashamed of going to her parents' house. Because everybody in the neighborhood knows her. Because they threw a good wedding for her. She doesn't want to bear the shame. But it's affecting the children. Because the children doesn't go out, the husband is not earning any money. The money she's earning, the husband have to tell her to stop working because the man is seeing that she's growing wings because she's earning more than him and all that. Now the family of the female wants to help. The husband said no. So all these things start from us training our children that know your words, love yourself, know what you want, know when to walk away. We are going to receive you irrespective of what is going to happen. Because the husband actually called the senior brother and said, I don't love her, I don't want her anymore. But the girl refused to leave the marriage. So these are the issues. Like, there should not be, like, the peer pressure for women is very high. These are some issues why some women, they don't love the person. They will just say, this one is marriageable. Let me just go to the marriage. At least nobody will pester me again. So these are some of the issues. I know of my friend that ran away from her husband's place 2 weeks ago. The husband wanted to use her for money ritual. Yes. So these are issues, and it's the same situation. She was pregnant. Her parents said she should go and marry the husband. It's the same issue. So we need, the main issue is that we need to empower our children, both male and female, to know how to love themselves, to know how to be like, your parents have to be your friend. Not only your husband has to be your friend, your parents have to be your friend. You have to be able to confide your prayer that this is what I'm going through. This is what the help I need, so that they will know how to help you. It's not about only like your husband should be your friend. Your parents, your siblings, they have to be your friends. You have to be able to confide in them.
So there has to be that support system that involves your husband, but also support system that is not necessarily centered around your husband. Totally agree.
It has to be family, because sometimes you and your husband might even get it wrong. They might be the one to help you out.
So, you know, since that example you just used about a husband that wanted to use his wife for ritual, that I feel like that's leading up to something else I was going to ask on this conversation. Like, is it possible that somebody can actually love you, but will show you actions in a way that it's almost like, I love you, but I don't mean well for you? Because if you ask this man now, do you love your wife? He will say yes.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The lady's parents did not believe that they are calling her to bring the child and come back home, that her husband loves her, which everybody, yes, even me, I find it hard to believe, because the man is always caring, is always there for her, is always wiping her face, on her feet and everything. But the main issue is that my friend is doing well more than the husband. The husband doesn't really have a job. The job is not really there. You understand? So I think the man is just overwhelmed, like, it's my wife that is doing everything. It's my wife that is doing everything. I want to be able to feed for my to feed my family, to let me be able to bring something to the table. So first, what they first did is that they switched destiny. I don't know how that works. Then the girl's job stopped. She stopped receiving contract. She stopped, all her business stopped. Nobody was calling her again. Then the next minute, boom, the husband started seeing job, seeing everything. Then the husband stopped giving her money. Was not giving her money.
This is like
so that, yes, Nollywood movie. So that the husband stopped giving her plenty money, so that she will not see. The husband just used to give her money, daily money. Like, okay, we want to cook food, go and buy what we want today. We want to do this, go and buy what you want to do today. We want to do this, go and buy this today. So that she doesn't have too much money, that she will now think that, if not for and she couldn't tell her parents. She could, all those, when she was having issues in her marriage, she was seeing the picture, she couldn't rely on her parents. So it's the same thing. We should make our children our friends. Like, they should be able to confide in us and like rely on us. Can be your sibling, because things that people tell their friends, they can't even tell their parents. There are so many things people tell their friends, they can't tell their parents. They will be like, if my parents should hear that one, which is not good. At least, even though you can't tell your parents like 100%, 80%, you should be able to tell your parents and confide in them, and you seek for help. They will know how to help you and all that.
Wow. Thank you so much. Like, that's
you know, Marina.
You go ahead, please.
Yeah. That question you asked, can somebody love you and not mean well for you? That's nonsense. How can you say you love somebody and you don't mean well for the person? You don't love the person. That takes us back to what love really
Love
is.
is.
You cannot say I love you and then you're doing your actions say the opposite. I mentioned loving yourself first. It's not selfishness that you're loving yourself first. If you love yourself, you will ask yourself, if someone else is doing this to me, would I like it? If someone else, treats me this way, would I like? Sometimes we don't ask ourselves such questions. We just want to be mean to other people. And you say, I love, just like a woman will say, he loves me, that is why he beats me. That's nonsense. That's low self-esteem.
Esteem.
True.
That's it.
That's low self-esteem. You can love yourself, have some time and love yourself first. Look yourself in the mirror, stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are made in God's image. Okay? Love yourself and help build your self-esteem so that nobody, and I like what sorry, my sister, I'm trying to remember your name, forgive me. I
Kofo.
like what she was
Kofo.
okay, Kofo. I like how she brought parents in. Okay. Sometimes the low self-esteem that people have come from the background, the upbringing. When they were being raised, they were not being raised right. Like what I mean by not being raised right. Your child comes to you and tells you something. You will be quick to believe a stranger than your child. You talk to your child anyhow, good for nothing. Is it not your mates that are doing this? Is it not your mates that are doing that? You are killing that child's self-esteem.
I totally
And then
agree.
when the child grows, that person will start looking for love in all the wrong places. I respect men that are very close to their daughter. Most of it, I know men are abused. They go through domestic violence and all those things. But I want to believe women go through it more. Or is it that women are the ones that speak out more?
More vocal. They're
Okay.
more vocal about what they're
Okay.
dealing with.
They are more vocal. So I respect men that have a very beautiful relationship with their daughters. It gives that child kind of a sense of protection, self-worth, and the way your father treats you would help you to make the right choices so that you don't fall into the wrong hands. What can you do for me that my father has not done for me?
True that.
Yes, so.
I
You
agree.
you understand that?
Yes, so.
What can you do for me that my father has not done for me? So in making a choice, that person makes a balanced decision, not based on what this person can offer me, not based on what I can gain from this relationship. You already know how a lady should be treated.
I absolutely
So
agree
it
with you.
helps you make very balanced decisions in
I
life.
agree. I agree. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kofo, for the perspective you have
Yes.
brought. I really like the angle you went just to make this as a spread it out so that all the stakeholders involved understand their responsibility and parents have a role to play. Thank you so
Yes.
much. I have a couple of other people who
Yeah.
are waiting backstream. So I'm going to maybe
Yes.
take both of you off for a while and bring another set of people on. Since IJ, please don't go. If we need to, I would like to bring you back. I'm enjoying the perspective that you're bringing to this conversation. Kofo, thank you
Oh,
so much.
wow.
I'm
You're
just going to
welcome.
try
Yeah.
to add Busaya is backstage now. Hopefully her network is a lot better. And
Is
yeah, I
it?
hear Busaya
Yeah,
laughing.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, it's better
No,
now.
it's a dark room, so
It's
don't
okay.
mind the camera.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so can I go ahead now?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Now, I said love is always enough. It is always enough. Now, when we say love, 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 there is what we call infatuation, and that's what most people have. Now, I'm going to cite some examples so that we understand it. Okay. By the grace of God, my marriage is going to be 10 years this year. Okay. And and I learned a lot from my parents. My father is very independent. He's the kind of person that is independent minded. My mom is kind of religious. You understand? But even at that, she's religious, but she's not the you must go to a pastor kind of a person. She believes in do it yourself. So you can see the kind of upbringing that I had. Now they raised us to be independent when we are thinking, and to also look at other things, and think about other people when you are doing things too. So what am I saying in essence? They say love is not enough. It is enough. The first thing is this: I keep saying definition. Everything is definition. Some men will come to you, they would marry you because they feel that they can live with you. You understand? They feel that you are their spec. There's a particular term I'm looking for. They feel that you have the vibe. That's the word. You've got the vibe that you're looking for. Now, when that vibe finally goes, the thing left is you. And that's when the problem comes. What am I saying in essence? I know someone right now. The lady and the guy, they come to me every time. This guy is a serial cheater. He is not going to change. He's a serial cheater. I am tired. And I have spoken to this. In fact, he came to me like 2 weeks ago and said, "Oh, why did you tell my girlfriend to get another guy?" And I told him, I said, "I have to be sincere with the lady. She's not loving herself. She doesn't even like herself as far as I'm concerned. She sees with you chicks every now and then. You bring them home. You don't respect her, and then she's still clinging to you." Now, my question to you is this, Marina. This guy that is cheating even before you guys go into the marriage, are you expecting him to change? Because most of the time, it is very easy for us to come and blame our partners and say, "Oh, they are this. Oh, they are that." What about you? I am dating a guy that I know has another girlfriend. I have gone into that marriage. My dear, he's not going to change for me. He is not going to change. If he cannot change before we went into the marriage, he's not going to change for you.
Yeah.
It will never change for you. And that's one thing people get wrong. You see a guy that, he likes to dress up, he likes to, he likes to go out, he parties. You are a conservative girl, JJ. You went to go and marry this guy. And then you are complaining that he's not staying at home. Are you for real? You're saying that it doesn't stay. Are you for real? Is it going to change for you? Now this guy start messing up, then you say love is not enough. You actually married, you went to the market and bought that thing. So please manage it. I keep
with your
saying
full
this thing.
chest.
Yes, you went to the market and you bought it. The lady that I'm talking to you about now, I have told her that this one that the guy is bringing girls home. Hmm? Very soon, I'm sorry that I'm going to sound a bit. The guy will invite her to come and join in the do very soon so that she will understand it. A lot of us will want men to change because we can complain about what about us?
Yeah. I
What
think
about us?
Busaya, if I'm going to add, Nalo, you're saying something?
Actually, no, but I was talking to my
Okay,
husband.
okay.
I
Busara,
Busaya, I
you
think it comes.
making excellent points.
Yeah, I think it
Like
comes back to what we said before about self-esteem and loving yourself enough to know when to walk away from a
Mhm.
situation that is not pleasant. I thought you were even referring to a couple that was already married. To be dating somebody who's a serial cheater, you catch him with babes, and you don't, that's not enough for you to see a reason to walk away. Like, I'm very confused.
Do you know the most annoying thing? Last week when she sent me a voice note crying and I wanted to play it. Immediately I tried playing it. My kids were asleep and my husband heard her voice. He just got up and said, "Please, I beg you, don't play that thing. It's very annoying." And I was like, "Why?" He said, "Because see, she's not listening to you. Now you come and then you marry this guy and you're expecting the guy to do you know the most annoying thing? She gives the man money. That's the most
So
annoying
na
thing.
Tinder swindler sister.
She gives him money. Let me shock you, Marina. Because you know this guy is my person. He is my person. I know everything. I know his parole. Do you understand? This girl will send him Richard card. He will send it to other girls.
Oh Lord.
And
Is she
then he will come.
desperate?
She's not. She's not. But the only thing is that she doesn't love herself. Now she goes into my marriage and then she comes to me one day and say love is not enough. In the first place, did she love herself to understand that she's also a human being and she deserved to be loved? This girl said to me when I was like, I said, please, can you date someone else? This guy will come to you and say he loves you. He will come and beg me and say, oh, I should come and beg you. When you say you are not doing again, you will say, I should come and beg you. But has it changed? One of the things I want us all on this platform to realize today is that a man will not change because you married him. It will not.
Loud it, my
See,
sister. Let me give you
the only
megaphone.
time, yes, the only time a man will change is if he wants to change. Do you understand? The only time a man will change is if he wants to change. And then I told my husband was asking me a question about something that was posted on the internet, and he said, what is my advice for the guy? The guy said he wants to talk to a girl, he likes the girl, but there's a lot of relationship around that girl. Sorry, there's a lot of men around her, and I was like, see, it can be wrong if he feels that those other guys, do you understand? It can be wrong to say that he's concluding that the girl is enjoying, the attention. And he's also right to say that he's enjoying the attention. But what is important is the motive that girl has to keep those people around. And you have to be very careful when you're judging. But let me tell you, Marina, the worst thing that can happen to any woman or any man is for you to be plan B.
And know that you are
If
plan B. Oh. You know you are plan B.
see, some people will not even, you will not know that you are plan B, but they are always those loopholes are always there. But
True.
we live in denial. I have been a victim before. I
Thinking,
wasn't plan
thinking that
B.
marriage will fix
Yes,
everything.
I was never plan
Never, it
B
never
for
does.
him, but I saw him as a time waster. We saw those things. See, you say, the guy hid his paroles from me. That's a lie. That's a lie. Those things are always there. If a guy is bringing you very close, you know everything about him. You need to know the motive behind it. If a lady is bringing you very close, are you sure that he's not putting you and saying, oh, in case the other guy does not work, let me go to you? See, I told my husband, my husband now said, what is wrong with plan B? I say a lot. Because a plan B, you are a plan B. If anything happens
Plan B, period.
tomorrow, you are still plan B. Even
I
if you
like
marry the
with plan B, there's
Okay,
nothing.
Nello. Yeah, I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for Busaya to finish that, and then we'll come to
you
you.
understand?
So,
Now,
Busaya, do you really want to land your point so that we can hear from Nello as well?
yes, plan B is the worst thing that can happen to anybody. You know why? You are not the first. She didn't like you. She did not have a choice. That's plan B. She did
Then,
not like you. She did not have a choice. Or he did not have
Nello,
a
you
choice. That's it.
sorry, Nello, you were saying that there's nothing wrong with Plan B. So, do you want to take it from there? Like, what
Okay.
is wrong with being Plan B? What if Plan B now became Plan A? Explain.
Plan A,
Hey.
it's possible. And the truth is that I think that I know that if you are the plan B, yeah, it's bad. But generally, I think people should have plan B, have your plan A and still have your plan B, just in
Hmm?
case. You never know. Keep all your base covered. But I know that, like, as a person, you don't ever want to be a plan B because then it's like, but we've not, like Sister AJ was saying about her friend that was always the guy was always coming to cry to. Do you understand? She was there. She knew she was plan B, but she was there all the while, giving the advice, helping out, and eventually paid out for her, but obviously doesn't pay up for everyone. One thing I also wanted to add to the conversation, there was actually something I saw on Twitter today. and the person was like, beyond love, make sure that the person that you're getting married to is actually a kind person. Is kind, because and then there was so much stories under that
Under
thread.
that thread, very heartbreaking
Oh,
stories. I think I saw them.
I was like, wow, but I always knew, like I always had this at the back of my mind, even before I got married, that kindness, and that kindness, is not only how the person treats you, it's the person's view of life, how their opinions on injustices, on how they treat other people, their worldview, basically. What is it? Do you understand? And again, just subtle things. I remember I was just in my hobby back in those, and I was telling him, I said, there's this guy that I know that this guy likes me, but there was something that he always does that I was like, no, it will not work. And it's very, very simple thing that he will be coming to pick me up from work, and he would buy something to eat. He would eat it. When he's buying the thing, he's not thinking about me. Like, okay, the
Oh,
person
wow.
work, let
Wow.
Sorry.
he's come from work. Maybe he bought juice for himself. He will finish the juice and just, nothing for me. And okay.
You,
It
you
cannot.
must cross it. You have to cross the person's mind. Like, if you like me, you can't be shopping for yourself or buying something for yourself and not think about the fact that
That
maybe this
thing,
person is thirsty as well.
that and I never
Wow. Okay.
tell you, didn't even bother to buy, but just that thing, I was like, oh, it just, and that kind of person, I feel like, is the kind of man that he would buy things for himself and the family. He wouldn't think about you. It's just all those subtle little things that
Don't even
you
buy
should,
things for the family.
you
They will
know
not remember you.
yeah, because if you read that thread, it's a lot of things that men do. Men would, these men, they will go out, they would stock the food in their rooms. It's mean, but there definitely are people like that. And the truth is, love, yes, there's love. When we come in the biblical sense of love, yes, love is all encompassing and all of that. But when we're looking at love as man and woman, and the whole thing, yes, when you guys get to know, when you're getting to know one another, when you're dating, the person might be, maybe the person will be mean to the people, to his siblings, to his friends. He's mean, but to you, he lets you have things, and you're like, oh, this thing, this person, you think you're special.
Like.
Not because you see that broom. There's something say that
When they
broom.
use flog first wife, you did back of door for the second one.
It's to you, because if it's not a good person, if it's not a kind person, eventually, because I feel like that love thing that used to shock, it goes away at the end of the day.
Okay.
It's affection.
Yeah, what would keep people together would be who you are, how you're basically who you are. If you're a good person, you'll be good to the person around you, regardless. You want your family to be happy, you want your partner to be happy, and of course every other thing. So yes, love can be enough, and love in the biblical sense, yes, it's enough. But love alone, please don't let's get carried away with love alone. You have to open your eyes, and you have to, if there's anything that you think that it might be an issue, think really, really sit on it. And I think that people should also, generally, before you even get married, you should envisage the kind of home that you want for yourself, the kind of man that you want for yourself, so that once you know what you want, it's very easy to spot, all those, to spot those things. But if you're just like anyhow, you don't have, maybe you don't even think that you're deserving. Because I know that some ladies, again, I remember then when when I was in service, and this was the first time I was hearing somebody say, not even I've heard a couple of ladies say things like that, be like, men don't come for me like that, men don't ask me out like that. So the one that managed to ask you out, you will hold on to the person by fire.
Even as Spark the killer.
And then you're forgiving so many things, you're closing your eyes so many things, because you feel like if you let the person go, you might not get another person.
one.
You understand? But what is you being by yourself to start with?
Is it compulsory?
Understand? What is wrong with you just being by yourself, being happy with yourself? And of course, and this thing, I don't even think that there's a timeline to when you can get married. Obviously, as women, if you want children, there is that part to think about. But then again, you do not have to be married to have children.
That's the
Nice,
world we're
nice
in
one.
these days. I
Yeah.
agree. Sorry, I know there's somebody else who's trying to connect. Kay, you need to connect your mic and your you need to be able to connect your sound before I can add you to the stream. I can't add you the way it is right now. Your device has to be connected to the audio before I can do that. So maybe you want to try and leave and come back so that you can connect your mic. That would be great. Okay. Sorry, Busaya, you were going to add something to this, right?
Yes, I wanted to say something. Now, um, the person I thought in quote I was going to marry, okay, when we started, when I knew that, I was really pained about, I discovered a few things and then I knew that it wasn't going to work. I remember they said something to someone. It was actually his elder brother who said this to me, and he said, if because it's going to be very funny i- when they said, "Oh, why did you do this? Why did you do this to Busayo?" And then he said, uh, he didn't know what to say again. He knew that obviously the relationship was over. Then he said something like, she used to put spoon in the pot. I was like, excuse me. I've never heard that before in my life. I said, it was the way somebody that was, I was hot and I was laughing the way you were laughing, Marina. And they were looking at me and saying, is she okay? Is she serious? And I was like, excuse me. And then, said she used to put, when you turn the stew on the on when you're cooking and you turn the stew and then you leave the spoon and then you go away and then she said she used to, what it there was nothing you could say that you used to put spoon. And I was like, I was still unhappy. I was obviously in tears. Then I just started laughing the way you were laughing. They were looking at me like, because it was funny. And then the man said something. He said, if he can leave you now or he can cheat on you, that was the word, because he didn't leave me there. He cheated. If he can cheat on you now, picture it. You have your legs, you have your body now. If tomorrow, just think about it, if anything happens to probably one part of that body, maybe your leg, maybe you an accident or something, is it going to stay? And that's it. And that's what the question, because we keep saying love is, see, this one that we are talking about, we express our affection by saying we love the person. That's affection. Love is love is bigger than that, because God said is love. It's bigger than that. You understand? If that person, if what you are, like I said, vibe, if that vibe, maybe it is the bum bum or the flat tummy and everything, if it's no longer there, would this person stay? I think that is the question we should all ask ourselves. If the money is making now, that is making you, that is shacking you, like Hennessy, if it's no longer there, will you stay? Can you stay? Can you manage? That's
Very,
the most
very,
important thing.
very
Because if
valid
you,
question.
yes, that's what, if tomorrow he goes into a coma, will you stay? That affection you have now, can it supersede whatever emotions you are going to be going through then? That's the most important question. But unfortunately, because of
We
the
don't
way our
have
society preach marriage, they preach your way of life. They preach and say the guy must know how, the girls must know how to cook, the guys must be useless in the kitchen. All those things. It's eating deep, and it is these days. Before they will stay in marriage, go, trust me, a lot of girls are getting out now, because we are unlearning some of these things, the
Absolutely.
things that we look at before we go into marriage. Some relationship should just be relationship, it should not end in marriage.
First thing,
When
yes.
they end in marriage, it becomes an issue, and then we now come and say love is not enough. Love is always enough. You should think
Okay.
about yourself. Are you enough for the kind of person you want to go and marry? Are you enough? Marina, have you not made decisions before that you say, oh, I have this plan. This the way the plan must go. And then your children or your husband is coming and then the plan is changing. Won't you accommodate it? Is that not what
True.
they call love? When you
True.
accommodate.
sacrifice.
Do you understand a lot of things that we don't do these days?
Busayo, thank you
Materials
so
and
much.
everything.
As in, if I let you go on, we'll stay here for 4 hours because
I'm
I'm
sorry.
enjoying this thing. I don't
I
even know
even
what
have to
to
go
talk
because I
to.
have to resume back. I'm
Oh,
working. I'm
thank you
on break.
so much. Thank you so
All
like
right.
your perspective is amazing. Like, thank you very much. K has joined the stream now. I'm going to let you
Okay.
join the call. Guys, can you people believe that we have been at this now? It's going to almost 2 hours. You guys, we have to find a way to wrap this down because I know some people
All
are
right.
going to work tomorrow and it's late in Nigeria. So please, Kay, go ahead. I'm going to let you join the conversation as well to just share your perspective. So go ahead.
All right. Naina, can I go now? I have to resume back.
Oh, Busayo. Okay, thank you very
Sorry.
much. Thank you so much.
I'll be watching
Okay,
silently.
okay, no
All
worries. Thank
right.
you. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Go
Okay.
go ahead, Kay.
Yeah, what I wanted to add to this was, as a people, we, I know biblically, love is unconditional and the likes, but as a people, unfortunately, we tend to have a transactional love, in the sense that I love you because of this. There's a reason, there's a factor to the love. And the moment that factor is out of the page, then in quotes, the love is questionable. And I think before you get to the point of love, there is the place of like.
Mhm.
And when you say like, I don't know if I can put it side by side with friendships, but I think liking a person is a lot more, I don't know how to explain it, than loving a person. And I remember when you asked the question about friendship and relationships, I went through a friendship breakup, and I didn't know there was a thing like that until I went through it. And I remember I was crying. And prior to the friendship breakup, I think 2, 3, 4 months before that, I went through a relationship breakup. And I remember not crying. I remember I was fine because I personally didn't want a relationship anymore anyway. But I was fine. I was okay with things going the way it went. But when the friendship ended, I remember I knew that I liked my friend a lot. Maybe not love. And I think there's also the notion of love being a romantic feeling, you know? But just the fact that that friend was out of my life, it made me see things differently. Now, I want to talk about the abusive woman that wouldn't leave a relationship. I have seen a situation where I went to an auntie's house, and the neighbor, I just kept hearing like shuffling, like someone was being pushed into the wall, and I was hearing screaming. And then initially I was okay, but then all of a sudden I heard a baby cry, and I was like, this is not right. And I remember picking up my phone to call 911. And I remember my auntie was like, oh no, don't call. And I was like, why? She was like, oh, they do it all the time. And I was like, that's not right still. And I remember I called 911 and they came, and they basically asked, are you okay? And she said, I'm good. And in that moment, I was literally like, I remember my mouth was open because I was just like, how can you be okay? Like, literally, when they opened the door, this lady's face was swollen. And of course, if you tell them you're okay, they'll just leave because,
They walk
you're saying
away.
you're
Yeah.
okay. And I remember going home and calling my sister, and she said to me, she said, Coin, the thing is, if you've lacked something for so long in your life, and you find that thing in a person, regardless of the turning that thing takes, you don't go. If as a child you've never been loved, you've never been liked, whatever the case might be, things have happened, and then you meet this one person that makes you feel differently, regardless of how tiny that difference is. The difference can be the man just, takes out the trash can. The man, fills your gas. Just the small thing. All of a sudden you think you love, in that phase, you do love the person. And it's so intoxicating to the point that even when that love becomes hate, because of the feeling of security you never had that you now seem you have in the present state, you can't leave. So I just wanted to add to it because I remember one of the aunties had mentioned that like a woman should just leave. Besides having kids or not, it's hard to just pick up and just leave, especially if you've been through something questionable. I have been in a relationship. It wasn't abusive at all, but I have never been like this guy paid extra attention to every single thing, and that's one thing that I have never experienced in a relationship. Like as small as like my lip gloss. And when it was time to end the relationship, I was done with the relationship, but I stayed an extra 3 months. I was done mentally with the relationship 3 months before I ended it. But then the last 3 months was me questioning. Literally, my thought was, will I find somebody else like this person that will pay extra attention? Thankfully, what was making me stay wasn't something crazier. And thankfully, the relationship wasn't toxic. But imagine being in that same relationship where you paid extra attention. It was amazing, but you used to beat me up. And then I don't want to leave because, oh, he pays attention. Just imagine that, whatever it is,
It's the
And that's
Stockholm
how
thing.
some
Like you
people
can't walk
stay
away.
because, I'm sorry?
I said like the Stockholm, like that Stockholm syndrome. Like
Yeah,
because there's one thing good, you look away from everything as bad and just keep holding on to it.
yeah. And I think that's how sometimes the topic of stay for your children, which I think is rubbish. Stay for your children, comes, because there's just that factor. There's a reason to hold on to that person. But yeah, that's all I had to say.
Thank you very much, Kate. Oh, somebody was being backstage. They just left. Please come back. Thank you so much, Kate. Nena, you're back to the conversation. You want to add something else?
Maybe just left off. So I had to
Okay.
enjoy the gist very well now. I can't remember the last, not the last, the second to the last sister that spoke. Was it
Busayo?
Busayo? Yes. She said something that really, stuck. I think she said something in the lines of when the real deal, like when something happens, this whole I love you, will that person be there when things happen, when unforeseen circumstances of life strikes? Will that person be there? Will that love still be there? And I remember Auntie Aije said that sometimes the real deal is in front of us, but we are carried away by, that Mr. B is tall, he's rich, he's cute, he pets me, and then we don't see what God is really giving to us. Personally, I would say before we go into any relationship, in fact, let me just say marriage, because marriage is, the end of the whole thing. We need to pray, we need to pray to God to show us who is our own. Forget about what you're feeling and all that. Now, why I said what Busayo said stuck is because I'm going to give you a personal experience, okay? Before I married my husband, my husband was plan B. He was the plan B in the equation. He was there, I had another guy that was, shaking my eyes because, we've been together all through uni and all that. Now, when my hubby came to visit, something happened one night that made me, question the whole thing. We were in the car. I don't know if you know this Rainbow. What's that bus stop again? Oh, next to Amuwo Dolphin. Is it Rainbow? Something Rainbow.
I have
Second
no idea
Rainbow.
what you're talking
Eh,
about. I didn't live in
sorry.
Lagos, sorry.
Second Rainbow. Okay. This was around 8:30, 9 p.m. So we're sat in the car. He stopped, he parked to pee. So after peeing, he got in, we just, start there, gisting and all. In about 10 minutes, 3 guys with guns came. One by my side, because I was on the passenger side, one by my side, the second one, driver's side, where my hubby was, and the third one was at the back. The next thing, they opened the door, they just hit the door with the gun. The 3 of them had guns. They hit the windows and asked me to get down. But they asked us to open the car. So I opened my door. They just flung me out of the car. Then the other one pushed my husband to the back seat. Then 2 of them drove off while one was at the back with my husband. Well, as in, I was screaming, shouting in the middle of the road. No, in no Lagos now, nobody will answer you. I was trying to stop cars, for them to help me pursue, because now they've taken my husband, they've driven off. So I was trying to stop cars and all that. Nobody answered me. Anyway, I ran back home, called my dad that they have kidnapped this guy that came to visit me. And because that was the only thing I could think of, kidnap and all that. So immediately we my dad took me to Festac police station. Now, on our way to Festac police station, I saw someone walking on the road naked with just boxers and torn shirts. And I was like, what drew me to the person was the fact the person was naked. I was like, who is this naked person? Lo and behold, it was the guy that came to visit me, who is my husband now. And I was like, Dad, stop, see him. Now, in summary, after the whole thing, my husband was saying, they were not married, though, we're still doing boyfriend and girlfriend. What he said to me was, when those guys, flung me out of the car, like, why was I trying to struggle with them? That what if they had shot me? And it made me think that, look at somebody that I was even thinking of. But in that situation, he was worried for me, saying that, why did you, try to fight those boys? If they had shot you, you would be dead by now. So it now made me start thinking like, even my dad was like, that the way this boy, who is this guy? The way he, behaved all through this experience, going to Alagbo, is it what they call it, the police station, making reports, trying to find the car and everything. Some men will just cut the relationship there and then. Their families will say, this girl now bad luck, leave her alone, and all that. But this guy was so calm all through the process. And then, eventually I started liking him. After the whole thing, we got married. And the story already. In less than 6 months to, our marriage, in fact, before we even did our white wedding, I had a very, very serious, health issues. And to my hearing, a lot of his family members were asking him, what is wrong with this girl? As she's sick, losing weight and all that, why not leave? And what he always asked them, what he always asked them there was, if this girl was your daughter, okay, will you tell the man coming for her to leave her because she is sick? And at that time, we've not gotten a diagnosis yet. So he said, I don't know what is wrong with her. We are still trying to, get the diagnosis, but whatever, I will stay true. If I did not marry my husband, if I ended up marrying the guy I thought I would marry, I don't know, my plan A. In fact, Marina, I don't know what would happen to me by now. I don't know where I would have been by now. So number one, let's pray to God to reveal to us who the right person is. And then let's look at how they behave in hard situations, even before marriage, whilst you're dating. How does this person react? Things that would make the person bored, just act in a very, very aggressive way. Is he or she calm in such circumstances? Those are things we need to look at. Forget about the meat pie, the ice cream, the Valentine's gift, the flowers, the roses. When life hits you guys hard, that's when you will know who truly loves you. And not with the sweet, I love you. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to add that.
Another Nollywood story, Nina. If I didn't know this story, my mouth will still open today. I've heard this story before. I'm hearing it again. My mouth is still open, my dear. At the end of the day, it's only God that can show us who's our own. Obioma.
Let me answer
Just let Obioma go, sis. I'll let you come back to answer the question on the screen, and then we can start to wrap up the conversation.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Onyo Bioma.
Oyo Bioma.
I'm speaking from Poland.
Hi.
The thing is, I'm a Nigerian. I want to speak about this law from another perspective. Speaking for, like one of the speakers said, for people that nobody have approached, and when they get someone, they tend to hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will say I'm their representative. Okay, for such a person, speaking from my own experience, when you are holding on, that is not still love. It's because maybe the society, in quotes, sees someone at the age of 35, not married, to be going off the market, the pressure from home. People tend to look at you, Christian, you want to be mommy Gio, you don't want to have sex. That's what is online. Without sex, no marriage, all manner of rubbish. Okay, talking about myself, I ended up with a man that if he's being handsome, he is, quiet, he is, everything that we've written on our list of Prince Charming, even that voice that when he sings in the church, anointing is everywhere. Open your eyes. Even in that, I try to flow along. I'm the last born. Before that, 2007, my immediate other brother called me and said, your friend so and so person brought wedding cards to me. I said, wow, this person brought wedding cards to me. I said, he said, you don't want to marry, you want to be a pastor. They don't understand that it's not easier for a woman to walk up to a man and say, I want to marry you. But unfortunately at the same time, June precisely 2007, a lot of suitors were around me. I don't even know what was happening, but I ended up with the wrong one. But I'll tell my sisters, please, even when you are desperate like I was, God is still there with you. Because the guy didn't come as rich. I was richer. I was a banker. But I noticed that if it wants to open the door of my car, the handle pulls. And that's a sign. There's nothing he touches that doesn't get spoiled. And my spirit was so unsettled. Even I had to pray. 2 weeks later, I called it off. I don't know where he went to, what happened. After a month, he came back gingerly that he wants to get married. September 30th, we got married. February 2nd, we did wedding. January 2009, I gave birth to my daughter, my wonderful 13 years old daughter now. And I lost my job in the bank. That was when my eyes opened, because I've been from this novice angle, always in the air, traveling from one meeting to another, going to church, being naive, because he too was doing church stuff. But we are not on the same level. It was when I lost my job and comments started, you've driven all my friends, anybody that comes to the house, they are juju boy. I said, what kind of language are this? So what I'm trying to say is that love, what we call love, I doubt if there's anything that is love. When you're on a desperate lane, please be careful. And for people that are listening that are not married, 98% of Nigerian men now are not hardworking, and they don't care about anything we call LOVE. They are highest bidder. Because I even came across so many that are married, but they will tell a woman what a woman wants to hear. This my ex-husband, which I've returned the dowry. I know how many people, even somebody that came to confide in me that the friend is getting married. When I saw the picture, I started laughing. I said, my ex-husband. Even married my colleague in UBA with a different name. He's a pastor, he's an engineer, he has House of Rep plate number. There are so many, and they're in the church. And they will give you, because Nigeria has a way of doing love. Right now in Poland, there are a lot of, you hear them say, Nigerian babes don't like going out with Nigerian guys. Yes, everybody came here to hustle, in quotes. Understand? Everybody knows what they want. Understand? The females tend to be looking for the white men that don't even value them. The men are looking for the white women they will use to make paper, have papers. because they came in illegal way or what. I don't understand. But what I'm saying in all, everybody that are single on this platform should open their ears. If not for you, for your sister, for your friend. There are lots. I handled this last time. There are women, there are men. Understand? Some women, even after getting married, you see them out there. And later they will say or whatnot. Then some men there, men now go to see Babalawo in quotes in suits in the name of pastor that will tell them today and tomorrow and tell them that a woman is the one blocking their way. So this love affair, I don't even see love in things people are talking about, because to me it should be called sacrifice. So when you are entering into a relationship, I tell people, know your priorities. What do I want from this relationship? So that it will help you to overlook so many things. I'm a hardworking person. I am a breadwinner. Even when I got married, I stopped my ex-husband's mother from local jobs and the rest, placed her on income, everything. But because they are greedy, it wasn't enough. Money is not even love. Money cannot stop love. It cannot give love. Who is cheating is cheating. And the signs are there. For a child of God, if you don't lose your peace, anything you are doing, once there's a relationship that I had last January, in this January alone, I had like up to 4 suitors. But a particular one, the day he blocked me, as if they removed iron from my shoulder. By the time he came back at pleading, I said, no, you are not for me, go. So most times the signs are there, but we tend to overlook it. Sure. You don't even need to be deep in that relationship for you to notice. Because if I do my reflection, my ex-husband, even the brother, when we finished after marriage, when he visited, when he turns the knob of the gas, it will pull. Normal knob that everybody will turn gently. You see that something is wrong somewhere, because God will always have a way of giving us sign that this is not the man we should settle with. As most times we think of, okay, immediately after my traditional marriage, I started seeing myself naked in billboard, naked. I kept on praying. At that stage, I should have called off the wedding. But because I was thinking of what people will say, my position in the society, nobody cares what's about the cloth you wore to church yesterday. Nobody remembers their own, even talk more of your own. You understand? I had that signs to stop it, because it's going to be a big shame for me to marry, but I overlooked it and went into that marriage. It's just that God loves me. That's why I'm alive today. Wow. And I can count more than 17 women that have gone through him. I only know of one that has a daughter. So every time, women should be careful. And for those that are already neck deep down in it, saying, what will people say? Live before you die. Because it's only who is alive that tells tale. Actually, I'm telling tale now. So many people have died because they want to cover up. If you're in a marriage is not working out, please walk away. Walk away and be yourself. I don't back up people that walk away and start flirting from left to right. No, I don't live such life. Walk away, make a meaning. I'm here on scholarship. Understand? I'm here on scholarship. I'm studying. This is like my third master's, not because I really want to be a professor, but just the easiest way to leave Nigeria and take my daughter away. So read, do many things, learn craft, channel your attention somewhere and get busy. Even when you're in that marriage, please walk. See, Bible makes us to understand that a man is not to be alone, that God will make him a helpmeet. Women are supposed to be helpmeet. But when you see that you are married to somebody that is like a pit that doesn't get filled, work hard and save your money and make something and overlook so many things. If you can't stand it, please, divorce is not a scar. Work out. Separate if you don't want to divorce. Especially people that call themselves Christian in the church. You cover up and you are dying, please, because your children are seeing you and you are molding them negatively.
That's very true.
You are molding them negatively. The men will see, they won't see any value in marriage. That is why I have so many young people now are not ready to get married. They just want to do IVF or do anything, they have their money.
Absolutely. I feel like that's another, and I feel like we need to have these conversations as ongoing conversations, because the last thing you just said now about the impression that young people, the Gen Zs and the Gen Ys, or no, the Gen Zs and the, I don't know what the newest one is. The
Alpha,
impression
I
now
think it's Alpha or whatever.
is that marriage is becoming an old-fashioned idea, and all of these things influence. Onyo Bioma, thank you very much for sharing that story. It's, I mean, like, I could almost not stop you, but I'm looking at the time and we really, really need to wrap this up. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Thank you everybody who has come. Since IJ, I have you and Nello still on the platform, so I'm just going to let you wrap up by addressing this question on the screen. Is it possible that you can grow apart from your spouse? And if that's what's happening, how do you deal with it? I see a couple of people in the comment section have tried to answer it. Inkirika said couples can definitely grow apart if they are not intentional in building their relationship. Working on relationship does not end in marriage. Nakutula also said yes, it happens a lot, almost inevitably, due to life happening around us, kids, family, work, and before we know it, we can hardly have an interesting conversation with each other. What has helped in her marriage is to set some time apart as a couple to recharge, step away from responsibilities, have a holiday without the kids, and try to rekindle the connections. It's IJ, what do you have to say about that in wrapping up the conversation?
Okay, I would have wanted to drop a word for the singles or the people that are still dating, but
Okay,
because of
okay,
time,
we can do that together. We can
let
do
me
that
quickly
together if you
answer
can
the
do it
question.
today.
Let me quickly answer the question.
Okay.
I will take us back to what Busayo said about when the chips are down, what would you hold on to? Okay, when the physical attraction is gone, when all those physical things you're seeing is gone, what do you hold on to? There must have been something that drew you to this person. There must have been something that is not physical that must have drawn you close to that person. Go back and think and ask yourself, what was it that really drew me close to this person? Minus the fact that he's tall, dark, and handsome. They know they chop handsomeness. They know they chop height. They know they chop
When
all
they
those
pay
things. But
mortgage,
apart from
handsome, when they pay
and
mortgage.
they know the chopper at all. So apart from the fact that he's tall, there must have been something that attracted you to this person that is not physical. Go and find out what it was. Go back and try to remember what it was that attracted you to this person and work on that. And then from the you read some of the comments people made, take breaks. We used to do that, my husband and I. We just go to a hotel and spend the weekend and come back, that kind of because when life is happening, kids are everywhere. And like me, I had my first child the same year I got married. I got married in January, I had him in November. So there was no time to do honeymoon, that kind of honeymoon. So be intentional about your relationship. Be intentional. That if you notice you've grown apart, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Find out what it was. Try to remember what it was that drew you close to this person that you can hold on to and say, despite the fact that I'm feeling this way now, we can still make this work. And then be intentional towards making that relationship work.
Wow.
So that's what I would say in answering that question. Am I still on?
Yes, you are. We can still hear you. Sis Nello, you're still
Okay.
on.
So
If you
I
want
don't
to
know.
just talk a bit,
Okay, so
if Nello wants to speak a bit
okay.
about the question, then IJ, I can come back to you for us to wrap up the conversation. If you want to give a word to people who are single or people who are struggling in whatever relationship they're in right now. Nello, if you're still on, do you want to go just to speak in like a minute or less about the question
Okay,
on the screen?
yeah. Let me just quickly add, like for some of us that live abroad, maybe going away for weekends and all of that might be a bit, you have to think of childcare. You can't just, maybe your parents are not around. What I would say is, to try and daily life. It could be the kids 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, kids are sleeping, make sure that they are in their room. And then you and your partner can spend like an hour or two together, before you guys go to bed uninterrupted. Like you have to create that time to build that connection, because the truth is, between work, children, life is happening. You're exhausted. So if you're not, relationship, love, marriage, you have to feed it. You have to make out that time. It's very, very possible for couples to grow apart if they are not intentional, and if they are not careful about, and you just have to look at your partner, know what they want, go out of your way to do things for your partner together. Yeah, you just, if not, you find out that you don't even know this person. And yeah, and it's very, there's something that somebody, I wanted to say something again that someone said, when she said that her ex then said it was because of the way she used to leave the soup, the
Spoon
spoon in
inside
the
pot.
pot. I have a friend who got divorced, and when I was asking her, I was like, what happened? She was telling me that it's always very little things, and she was saying something about how you put toothpaste, maybe he presses toothpaste from the bottom, I press from the top. But I feel like all those things are secondary. The resent has been building.
Yeah.
You guys have been drifting apart. So all those little things that you could have just overlooked, they now become,
Tipping
so
points. Yeah.
exactly. So you just have to make sure that you nurture that affection, you nurture that love, you do things for your partner and vice versa. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add to it.
Thank you so much, Nello. For those of you who are on the call, Nello is a content creator. Please go and look for her on YouTube. Some of these things she's talking about, I've seen a couple of your videos where you and your husband did date nights. I took notes from that. So go and check it out. IJ's Corner is also on YouTube as IJ's Corner. Please go and check her out. And then Nena that spoke earlier, she's on YouTube as Nina Gilbert TV. The story she was sharing about the challenges that she has faced and how her husband was there throughout. Nina just had a baby. I think it was, I don't know how long she's been married. I
After
think
eight
about 8
years,
years. And she had a
8 years.
baby this year after, was it last year or this year? After 8 years. So you guys go and check out her channel. The stories are there. Please follow these women. They are very wise women. I follow them. I learn a lot from their channels. If you do that, you are going to come back and thank me. I can assure you. So please go and check them out. Nello, IJ's Corner, Nina Gilbert TV, every other person who spoke here. Those are the 3 content creators I recognize. But please do well to check them out. You're not going to regret it. So since IJ, we're wrapping this conversation up right now. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been here. I'm going to let you do the final general in a minute or less, just the advice for people who are married, who are hoping that I want to marry and I want to get it right. What do I need to
You
do?
mean
For those
married
people who
or
are
single?
married,
People that are
those people who
single.
are married, who are struggling, like just a word for everybody generally, what would you say?
Okay, I'll start with the singles, okay? See what I believe that has worked for me. I like to use my own experiences, okay? Um, I'm sure we all believe in God, irrespective of the religion that we practice. We all believe in God, and we believe that God answers prayers. So my advice to singles will be, before ever you are even ready to marry, start praying. Start praying for God to lead you. Now, I started doing that on time. The last speaker mentioned something about peace of mind. Okay, I remember that sometime before I met my husband, there was another guy who happened to be his friend that was on my case, disturbing me. I like you. Let's do this. Can we just start? He was making his moves and all that. And sincerely, I was under pressure. I wanted to go home. So I just said, okay, I agreed. Do you know that I couldn't sleep that night? Because I knew that was the wrong decision I took. So the very next day, I went to him. I told him, sorry, um, we can't do this. This can't happen. Now, physically, you would say, oh, he's a handsome guy, everything. But that wasn't what I was looking for. That wasn't what I was looking for. And I knew that when I find that person, I will have peace. So when I met my husband, when he proposed, there was no, I didn't start saying, let me go and pray about it. I was already praying. And I knew that I was doing the right thing. So I would encourage singles, pray. Okay, whatever religion you're practicing, we all believe that God answers prayer. Pray. And then, like Busayo said, in fact, all the things she said, I agree with them. You cannot change somebody. Don't ever assume that when you marry this person, he will change. You cannot change a person. it is that person that would decide to change for himself. And if he doesn't change during courtship, he will never change after marriage unless God touches that person. So don't ever go into a relationship feeling, oh, after marriage, I will change that person.
Change
Don't
them.
ever do that.
Never.
Don't ever do that. And nobody is perfect. So in your time of waiting for Mr. Right, remember that nobody is perfect. Even you yourself, you're not perfect. Okay? Everybody is working towards being a better person. So if you meet someone and your basic your foundational principles, the basic things are present in that person. And maybe the issue is that, oh, he's not very fine, he's not very tall, he is not very rich. All those things that are transient. If those are the issues, my sister, forget those things.
Yeah.
If the basic things are present in that person, because nobody is perfect. And if you notice any red alerts, run. If there are things that you know that you cannot live with, run,
True.
run. And then in the course of the courtship, you notice that this person can get angry anyhow and maybe almost raise his hand to slap you one day. Run, because one day he will slap you.
To land. Yeah.
So shine your eyes, don't make that mistake. But the most important thing, pray and know that nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And you can never change anybody. Never.
Yeah.
Okay, now for the ones that are already married, you're struggling in your marriage. What I would say is this: if it's an abusive relationship, pray for the strength to walk away. Pray for the strength, because I know it can be difficult. Pray for the strength. But if there's no abuse, maybe it's just some differences. Try and work on those differences. Any two people can live together. Bible says, can two work together unless they be agreed? It's understanding and agreement. Calm down and try to find out where you missed it along the way and try to make amends. Give it another chance, especially if abuse is not present. Give it another chance. Be intentional about it and work on it. And I tell you, you would enjoy your marriage. I say this all the time, and I'm not exaggerating. If there was marriage in heaven, when I see my husband, I will be the one chasing him. I've told him that when I say that, he will be laughing. I said, I will be, as already, I will be chasing you, because he makes me, I am myself where he is, and he makes me want to be better. He makes me want to be a better person. That I'm on YouTube today, he was one that encouraged me. So another thing for singles, that person that you're yourself around, you can be yourself around.
Yeah.
Think about that person, not the one that's always putting you on edge. Anytime you're with the person, you're uncomfortable.
Like
You
you have
have
to
to
learn to be
maintain.
proper around them. Yeah.
That kind of no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. That person that you can fart in his presence. You understand what I mean? That person that you can be yourself around, that makes you want to be a better person. Think about that person. Thank you so much, Marina, for this opportunity. I didn't
Thank
know
you
that I
very
was going to
much.
be here as well.
Thank you so much, sis. Like the perspective, and I like that you're coming from your personal perspective, as in being married 22 years, you have experience that you were very, very willing to share with us. I really, really appreciate the perspective you brought to this conversation. Thank you so much, everybody who has stayed. In fact, we're going to be doing this every month. I feel like once a month we should have this kind of conversations where people can come on and share their experience. There are some things I heard here today that I did not even know that was going to come out. I didn't think the conversation was going to get that deep, but thank you everybody who was willing to share their personal experiences just so other people could learn. So yeah, you guys stay tuned. We're going to be doing this from time to time just to bring people on to get perspective and let other people learn as well. This is going beyond it's not just YouTube to come and gossip, but there are life lessons that people are taking. And I'm hoping that some of you have learned a lot from this conversation today. Thank you so much. I'm going to have another live video sometime next week, Saturday. It'll be career related for people who are interested in getting into tech in Canada. Tech is the hot cake now. If you're looking to come to Canada, you're looking for a career switch. tech is the big thing, and business analysis is one of the ways that you can break into tech in Canada. So on Saturday, I'm going to have a resource person come on to talk about that. So please do well to invite other people as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. For those of you who are going to be celebrating Valentine, please do it with your head. Don't let people pressure you. If you don't have a Val, hug your pillow tomorrow. Jesus is your lover, okay? No pressure. You can show love any day. Doesn't have to be one day in the year. Don't let people use that commercialization of one day to distract you and make you feel like you're not good enough. You're good enough. Look in the mirror, find value in yourself. Look at something you love about yourself and hold on to it. Because at the end of the day, yes, you may not be married. The people who are married don't have their lives are not automatically more perfect because they are married and you're single. So don't be deceived, honestly. Don't be deceived. Don't fall for the pressure so that you now go and took your head inside what's not good for you because of pressure, okay? Enjoy your day tomorrow. For those of you who are celebrating, have fun celebrating. For those of you who don't believe in it, have fun, have a great week. It's a Monday, go to work, do your job. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. I'm so grateful to all of you who stayed. It's been more than 2 hours. I didn't even believe. I thought it was just going to be like an hour, 15 minutes tops. But here we are. See, love, all of you stayed. Anyway, we're going to keep talking about love so that we can all learn and edify each other. Well, thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a great week ahead. And until I come your way in the next video, as usual, it's your girl, Marina, saying thank you and have an awesome day. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.